Getting wild up in here with Tally Brinson, Abby Knight, and Ben Brown on the Tap Podcast Show.
What's going on, everybody? We're back for another weekend, or week, I should say, another week episode of the Tap Podcast with myself, Abby Knight, Benny B, and Tally B.
What's up, y'all?
Take that.
I said today's episode is not the Tab Podcast. It's the TBA, to be announced podcast. We're very particular about our arrangement here, but Abby wants to change things up, so we're just going to go with it.
You know us women, especially Hispanic women, right? Can't ever make up our minds. What can you do?
The to be announced podcast, folks. Stay tuned.
On every Wednesday, we'll be there.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness.
To be announced.
This is what we're doing today. Hey, everybody that's listening in right now, I just want you guys to know that Ben is always super extra fresh with his vegetables and fruits. Is that what they say about people that stay healthy? Are you organic?
Ah, that's dope.
Organic depends on the day.
Know.
Depends on the day.
Okay.
Depends on the day.
Just trying to let the ladies know, what kind of fruits and vegetables they'd be getting out of you. That's all.
It's the bespoke.
Always fresh.
In case you didn't catch that.
It's always fresh.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Are they loving it?
I got the ginger right here. The ginger and the lemon right here.
I don't have no ginger and lemon. I got my fancy drink.
Is that mud?
Well, I have my water.
No, it's not mud. This is what I'm drinking. Little Collard Genius.
Oh, the Collard Genius.
And
you know what? I gotta try
listen,
that.
I know you guys are going to get on me, but Ben, you'll never guess the flavor of this.
Well, will you guess the flavor of this? This is peanut butter and chocolate. But I don't know.
This is Chocolicious.
Everybody's showing off their
Y'all
snacks.
know I love me some chocolate.
Oh, that's the chocolate one. Okay.
Yes, this is actually a collagen and mushrooms supplement by Newtopia, which is a Bioptimizer's product, and it's really good. You guys have to try it. I have the sort of unhealthy version because I can't drink coffee, so I make mine with almond milk. I add a little hazelnut flavoring to it, and I top it with some caramel. Oops.
We always got to keep
caramelo, like my people would say.
Yeah. You could have held
keep the nuts and everything, you know?
Yeah, but I can't have caffeine. You got to give me a little something here and there.
Come on,
Just
Abby.
saying.
Get with it. Get with the
Wow,
times.
I feel kind of jealous right now. You better go ahead
Health
and eat
is
that
hip.
ice cream, Ben.
Ben is tearing that ice
Hard
cream
man.
up.
Tearing it
It's my
all the way
favorite.
up. Go
It's my
ahead,
favorite.
Ben.
That's my favorite.
Is that how you
What
tear
is
the
it?
ladies down?
Man. What you say?
What flavor is that?
Chocolate.
It is peanut butter and chocolate. It is amazing.
It looks like it's amazing. It looks like you were really enjoying that.
It's the only peanut butter ice cream that I've ever found. If you think about it, there's never...
Jenny's makes a really good chocolate peanut butter one. Not gonna lie.
I
does
dare
Jenny's
say. Go ahead, B.
Does Jenny's have like chocolate with peanut butter in the chocolate, or is it like chocolate ice cream with peanut butter?
It's peanut butter flavored ice cream with dark chocolate chips.
See, that's what you always get. That's whack. They always do that.
That's whack?
This is like
How you gonna do
peanut
that?
butter ice. This is the only ice cream I found that just has peanut butter in the ice cream. It's not the chocolate chips
Gotcha.
or the chocolate drops with the peanut butter in it. It's it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. It
sounds
always
like
does something different for the flavor. If it's not mixed in, it's like it's there. It's like humanity. Be here. Be you. You know. Be with the collective, but be you.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't team up with somebody and be a part of the chocolate peanut butter.
You see what I'm saying? You see how
I'm
you see
with
how
you.
the
I knew
snacks
exactly where
bring
you were going with that.
The snacks bring you to nirvana. If you study your snacks right and you follow the path, they're telling you the answers right there, man.
So true.
Be you. Be you. But
Well, you look like a rock star today, though. You got this rock star thing going on.
Ooh, hold on a minute. Can we see the shirt? While you
I
whipping
forgot
your
about
hair?
you.
First
Yeah,
of
I
all,
was
can
flipping
we
my
get
hair
a
like
close up
a
on this shirt? Yes. Who you repping today? Okay, you repping the queen.
Can we get
Okay,
applause
check
for
her
that?
out. Okay, that's wifey right there. You see that? He repping that with nothing but pride all across your chest.
Where can that shirt be found?
It actually can't be found yet, but it will be found soon. Y'all gotta
Okay. Y'all better be out here doing that. Oh, let's go. That shirt is fire. Fire.
Yeah, I've been working on this design, and I had to source another shirt because I wanted a better quality tee. All about premium quality. So now that we've got that locked down, we let y'all know when we dropping these. Because baby's back in town.
Baby's back in town.
Baby's back in town. Hey, so who we keeping tabs on this week?
This week, it's a mess. There's a lot of drama going down this week. Y'all know that Joe Budden has a tendency to keep his entire foot in his mouth. And this week was no exception. I don't know if you ever heard about how he said he plays with his dog's private parts.
What?
Yeah, you could Google that, folks.
I don't think I want to Google that.
Yeah, he said it was a whole thing when his podcast was on Spotify. Anyway, people were going crazy. So I guess this week he's decided to fire off at Drizzy Drake, Champagne Poppy. The ladies love him. Shout out to Drake. He's a super nice guy. And based on what he was saying, because I guess he was trying to say like that Drake, I guess, is washed up in a way, which is crazy. Okay, he needs to go sit down somewhere. Let's talk about Joe Budden's career. Did anybody know that he was trying to be an artist at one point? I think
totally.
not.
Totally.
But most people I don't think knew about that though. The general public, nah.
I think it's more of a demographic thing. And
the group he was in, it was hot.
Was it?
Ben's
can't
era.
front.
Yeah, Ben's era, and then the tail end. Like I caught him on the tail end, but he was never in my top 10. But I knew him as an artist.
Well,
Go
I didn't.
ahead. Continue.
So I knew him as Mr. Reality TV and him just always being messy. So anyway, Drake, who usually doesn't go out of his way to do stuff like this, clearly felt some type of way about Mr. Budden's comments, because he said, at Joe Budden, "You have failed at music. You left it behind to do what you're doing in this clip because this is what actually pays your bills. For any artist watching this, remember that you're watching a failure give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success. A quitter give their opinion on how to achieve longevity. You switch careers because the things that pop into your brain had you broke, living check to check, and the raps you write had 450 men showing up to your shows in dusty, nice jeans to screw up their face, to mood music 29 and pretend you're the GOAT. Please, to any artist that's doing what they feel is right, don't let these opinions affect your mindset after the fact. This guy is the poster child of frustration and surrendering." And continues, "You retired and we never hung up your jersey. We don't even remember your number. We know you for doing this. You withdrew from rap, not because you accomplished all you need to. It's because it wasn't working for you. I never want anybody in the generations to think that the whole everybody's entitled to their opinion is a real thing. This is a man projecting his own self-hate and the fact that I did and continue to do everything he wanted to do for himself. Boom. If you need it to be put in simpler terms, I own a 767. He owns a modest house in the 973 and flies first class on special occasions." Pew, 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 pew. Shots fired.
Whoa.
Drake, how do you really feel?
Okay, I had to take my shades off for that one.
He said, "I own a 767. He owns a modest house in the 973 and flies first class on special occasions." Come on, bars. He should put that in a rap song.
Well, if he wanted some attention, he definitely got it. One.
You're talking about Joe here?
Yeah. If he wanted some attention, he definitely got it.
Made himself look
Drake
stupid. I'm sorry. Not gonna lie.
I feel like Drake just dropped a spade on him, and I think Joe just picked up the Joker card for the day.
I beg to differ.
Do you?
I do.
Differ, B.
So Joe Budden, he can get on my nerves at times. He can be off. Drake is extremely sensitive, and if you're not praising him, he has a problem with it. And I had to go listen to this album. It's whack. It is. It sounds like every other album he's put out. Like, I think Drake has done so much. I think he's a really good rapper, and I think he's done some really big things. He has Michael Jackson numbers when it comes to digital stuff at times, but he keeps giving me the same album over. If you put you remove the dance album he did and take the last 3 albums and you throw all that music on together, it sounds like one project. He does the same thing over and over. And I did go research why he popped off, and it was because Joe Budden wasn't praising him. And he said, yet Lil Yachty said that this is some of the best verses that Drake has ever did. And Joe Budden was like, I'm not taking Lil Yachty's opinion on rap. And I agree. It's Yachty. He's not dope. But I listened to it. I had to go listen to it for myself, and it's like it sounded like.
So what are the what is the streams and the sales doing for the album? Is the album being a success on paper and monetarily?
Drake is so big it don't matter. MC Hammer was successful. I mean, what does that mean? So numbers don't always equate.
Well, I just
Equate?
no,
good.
I just
Equate.
wanted to know.
Yeah, I couldn't get the word together. Equate to a good product. So there's a lot of rappers that got good numbers.
I just wanted to know if his numbers are.
It's Drake. Drake is always going to give you numbers, but again, listen to the music that's out there. This is definitely not the greatest era of rap music. I think Drake is good. I would not take anything from Drake. I think Drake is nice. He is a top tier of this generation, but this is not a good project to me. And I didn't want to ride with Joe Budden on this, but I did agree with him. I did.
Well, agree or not, Drake's comments and his response to Joe Budden was pretty on target, though.
Oh, it kind of, right? It kind of was, but we all shift careers at times. So just because you shifted to a different career, he tried to be an actor and didn't succeed at that. How about that?
He's actually still acting.
Yeah, and again, where does that?
He's acting in his own stuff.
Is he? I mean, how well is that doing for him? Not to say that he couldn't be a good actor.
Hold on, I'm like, how well is he doing? He owns a jet, $100 million property, and works pretty damn good
with his rap, not his acting. So again, he switched careers.
But maybe his acting is helping build his entire brand of what it is.
Oh,
because it is his personality.
Painting his nails and stuff. That's that acting. You talking about that acting?
No, I'm talking about his actual real acting. The acting that he's been doing in his videos and various cameos that he's in and things.
You didn't see him in the Chris Brown video where he's like, "Oh, look at these moves. Oh, it's the snake." No, you didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't think that's what people tuned in to watch.
He's got a lot of people.
I will gladly take Drake's career without any complaints. He got a $100 million property, his own jet. He's always busting out numbers. I'm just like, what's Joe Budden really doing in comparison? Like,
what I'm saying is he shifted careers, just like Drake shifted careers. Drake used to be an actor, riding around in a wheelchair on a TV show, and then he switched to rapping, and now he's successful. He wasn't.
Now, did his acting career fail, though? His acting career didn't necessarily fail.
But Joe Budden stopped rapping because he fell out with the group. They had differences. But I don't want to sit here and like...
What stopped him from rapping? What stopped him from continuing to rap?
Let's talk about it.
To a different career. He shifted to a different career.
He could have tried to go solo.
He was solo first.
Just saying.
Joe Budden's had a couple of hot songs. Again, I am not a Joe Budden fan.
I remember he had some.
Joe Budden got a.
They didn't last long, but they didn't last long enough for him
because he shifted and he has a lot of bitch ass in him. Hands down, Joe Budden is a smaller version of Drake, overly sensitive and always in his feelings. Period.
Mm.
Well, I I'm a Champagne Poppy fan, so I'm not really. Joe Budden isn't necessarily my favorite person, and I think he says some pretty ignorant stuff pretty often. So that's just my opinion on him. But I'm a nobody, so it's not like it matters.
I have
Everybody
heard
has
Joe
an
Budden.
opinion.
I've heard Joe Budden say some valid things, and just like everybody, some things that you say and that you ride for, some people agree with, some people don't agree with. I guess this is not a who's right and who's wrong thing. It's just really like, yeah, Joe Budden was entitled to say what he said, and Drake was entitled to his response to him. So that was
Drake pop off was good. Drake had a good pop off. Now the pop back was good, but
okay. I'm just saying, I was waiting for you to admit that, recognize that.
the pop off was good. Can't lie.
That last line was good. That's a bar,
Life is a bar, but hey,
technically speaking, yeah. So on a whole nother note, there's people out here deceiving all sorts of folks. Let's play this quick clip and talk about it, because I think it's self-explanatory.
Uh-oh.
Call the wedding off. It was in college. Right now, no. Right now, college. It was in college. Home for the love of God. It was in college. It was in college. You act like you were never curious before. You never messed around with. I'm a good man. Any woman will want a man like me. Any woman will want a man like me. Like me. So you go ahead and try to throw me away. You go ahead and try. You go ahead and try. Like I said.
Like I was saying, I was waiting for him to start with the whole, while he was up, like I was saying, first of all, you gonna want me? Like, that was a lot. That was doing a lot. For those of you that didn't catch it, apparently he was engaged to get married, called off the wedding because his wife-to-be found out he had been, doing nasty with some men in college. And so I feel like, how did that not come up in the course of their relationship? That was a lot going on.
Go ahead, B. We're both like,
I'm glad. First of all, I'm glad it came out. That's the most deceitful thing you can do, is to be with someone and not disclose that information.
That's important information.
Yeah, and it's not It's not a private matter. It's not your past. Not when it comes to that, because that's a total violation. It's disrespectful to everybody involved. And but that trauma and that hurt, man, that he was holding on to, like, she hurt him and he couldn't see his wrong in what he did. And that's the most disturbing part about it. He wanted to be valued so bad that, forget that, I'm a good man. He might be a good man, just not for her. It's easy to take this and make some jokes of it. And I want to take this and keep it real serious. Like, that's nothing to play with. And it's disheartening because men like that hurt straight men, because it makes women think and feel like they're being deceived. And there's a possibility that every man is out here living this double private life, and it's not okay. So there was a lot of innuendos that I could have done and made it a joke and laughed it off, but it's not a laughing matter.
It's not really a laughing matter. Yeah, I can agree with that. Tally, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, my sentiments echo the same. That's definitely something that, if you feel like it's something that is sensitive enough that you would want to keep it away, it's probably important enough to mention, based on the length. Now, I don't know how long were they together. Did it say how long they had been together, or how long?
Long enough to be engaged. Long enough to be engaged.
Yeah, long enough to be engaged.
So obviously there's some trust going on to get engaged. There was some trust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you betrayed all
and that's the thing. Like we said, we allow people to make their own choices in life. Everybody has their own, their own beliefs or whatnot. And my advice to a person who is going through that is like, you really now, based on your freedom of choice, you made some choices that don't necessarily go with the main flow of society at this point in time. So you got to be, now you've taken on the extra responsibility of strategizing how to give that information in order to protect yourself and that other person. You might end up attracting the person who just understands from the get-go, and you could tell them right up front and they get it, or you might have attracted that person that I want to know if there is a relationship out there that started the same way and had that same unfolding moment, but then they actually stayed together. I want to know if that relationship's out there somewhere, because that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to get her to see him for who he is and know who he is now, and hope that when that information came about, that it wasn't going to change her mind about him.
Okay, but I have friends that are sexually fluid. They like both men and women. They're energy people. They're just more about connections. But they're always upfront with their partners about that. There's no secret about it. So I just feel like there's nothing wrong if that's what you want to do. That's more power to you. That's not what we're saying. But when you're with somebody, that is extremely deceitful, especially when you're talking about the possibility of STDs, the possibility of the fact that maybe you're not 100% straight. Maybe you still want to explore those types of options. I feel like that's something you should have a conversation about openly with whoever you're with anyway, if it's not that big of a deal to you. The way he was saying it, it's like it shouldn't be a big deal. It's something he did years ago. So if that's the case, I'm sure they've talked about wild moments they had when they were younger. So why wouldn't he have felt the need to bring something like that up if, according to him, it's not that big of a deal?
Right.
So I feel like the dangerous part about that argument was if she was to accept it, and then in their relationship, he steps out, or he's having these side things going on continuously, or when he does cheat, he's cheating with men. Well, you knew. It turns like we talked about it. You knew. So it leaves the door open, and you don't get to shut the door because he feels like he shared an intimate or a real moment, and now he feels like I can continue to open this door because you knew it. So what are you mad about? That's a door that I feel like, just personally.
I mean, but look, that's a possibility, yes. But let's not judge him on a what if. On a what if.
I'm going on people that cheat, right?
A lot of what ifs can happen. He can completely be against that and not want to be a part of it anymore, or have, you know what I'm saying, and actually really be, like he's saying, a good guy or whatever.
But that doesn't exclude him being a good guy. He could be a good guy in certain areas and not. There's good, like, put it like this. There's good men that cheat. You're a good guy. You're just a cheater. And it makes a relationship horrible. But there's people that can get everything else right and just not stop cheating. There's an alcoholic that's a good guy that he's an alcoholic. There's a drug addict. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not discrediting that he did it for the last time. He did it in college. But again, it's still just that kind of deceit that you start out with. I wouldn't, me personally, I'm not going to roll my dice on somebody that left me out there like that and then think that, you know, you wouldn't do that, or there isn't anything else that's going on, period.
Right.
Yeah, that's a little heavy. I don't know if I could stay with somebody. I would just have a lot of questions, and I would feel more than anything just lied to. It just feels like there's some deceit rooted in that, because why wouldn't you have wanted to tell me this or share it with me earlier? Every couple, you and Aaliyah, I'm sure, have talked about wild moments that you've had when you were younger, you know, and like parties or people, you know, the big thing is threesomes and whatever. You have a kiss the girl, or at some point that conversation comes up with a couple. So the fact that he felt the need to leave that out, he knew that was information that could potentially damage the relationship or maybe the way she felt about him or looked at him.
Right.
And that's something you have to own. And first, what I want to know is, how did she find this information out?
That's a
what I
good
wanna know.
question.
Did
that's a
someone
good
else
question. How
tell
did she
her,
find
and now
out?
she feels blindsided? Because I would be, I know I would have a
how
lot of
did she
different types of
find out?
thoughts going through my head.
That's a really good question. How did? Oh, and what's right about this is like you said, if he chose to play the game the way that he was playing it, if the spot gets blown up and it don't go your way, you can't get mad.
Nah.
You gotta own that.
That he was upset
And just understand, like,
come on. She if he had, I don't even know where they are at this point, but let's just say that she's like, it really is completely done with him. I think it would have been in her rights to call off the wedding. Like if they had a wedding date, like no.
Well, that's what the video says.
We might be able to work past this, but we definitely ain't finna. This ain't finna happen right now or whatnot. But that's where it takes his true colors to be like, you know what, to understand, like, yes, I did not offer some information that was obviously pretty important and could have swayed your decision and how he is accepted by her in a relationship, and he chose to withhold that information, and she found out about it prior to, I guess, him just thinking that she would just be at a point where she didn't care, and she addressed that to him. He got to eat that. You got to eat that. You can disagree with her,
100%.
but you can't go off on her.
But he took away her option of deciding
Right.
whether she was going to be okay with that. You can't do that to people. You can't just blindside somebody and feel like, oh, well, they got to be okay with it because they got to accept. That's not how it works. She's entitled to
Right.
her opinion just like you were entitled to experiment.
And the sad part about the whole thing, to the last sad part, he was still living in his right because he was the one that started recording it. Like, he was recording this like, I'm right.
Yeah,
Like, you recorded this.
Yeah.
And he still is not owning that he's wrong for it. Because he
put the
recorded
camera on himself.
You want to see who I am.
He used the back camera and the front camera.
If you use the back. We're done on that. We're done. We're
Sure
done.
did.
We're done.
He's
He
by
used the
camera.
back camera and the front camera.
He's by camera.
I'm done. I was trying to stay serious. I'm done, man. I don't want to talk about it no more.
Just out there taking pictures. Ooh. Hey.
From the front and the back.
Tally B, y'all. That's what I do.
Amazing. Always fresh. Eat your vegetables,
Always
everyone.
fresh.
Eat your vegetables.
veggies.
Moral of the story,
veggies.
eat your veggies. So on that note, we're going to get ready to head up out of here. But make sure you guys connect with us on Instagram and TikTok. You can find us at The Biz Tab. That's TheBizTA to the B. And until next time, folks, hit us up. Let us know your opinions. Would you stay with your partner if you knew they had been messing around with the same sex way back in the day? Would you leave? We need to hear from you guys, so make sure you hit us up. Until next week, later.
Eat your vegetables, boys and girls. Eat them. Just eat it.